very key issue in Nigeria. So wherever you're watching me from, I'm just greeting you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every one of you here. And thanks for always watching Nebo TV show. If you're watching right now live and you have any question, just drop it down on the comment section. We're going to answer them amicably. All right, we're going to be talking on the issue of the role of Nigerian youth in the issue of insecurity. And here with us, who's going to be dishing out this answer is somebody I respect so much. I really, really respect him. The person of Honorable Dane Uwadiai. He's an honorable a minority leader in Nigerian Youth Parliament, National Assembly, Abuja. Abuja. All right, sir. Would like to know, where are you right now? Are you in Abuja or you're in Benin?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Daniel. They call me Didi for short. I'm currently in Edo State, Benin City. Thank you.
Oh, you're currently in Edo State, Benin City. Yeah, okay. Me, I'm in Edo State too, Benin City. So we are here together. All right. We're so happy to have you on Nebo TV today. So we are hoping you dish
Thank
out
you
these
very much.
answers to us because we are really eager to know what's our role in the issue of insecurity. The situation of Nigeria is really deteriorating when it comes to security aspects. Lots of kidnapping, killings. It's happening every day. Every day we're hearing cases every day. So, do you think we should leave the bulk of the work for the government to do to tackle the insecurity issue, or we as youth, do you think we have a role to play? That should be the first question.
Yeah, thank you very much for that wonderful question. Security is everybody's concern. It's not just about the government. So, yes, the youth should be involved. The youth should be at the center of security. You understand? Because if you look at it, more than 60%, or let's say 35% of people living in Nigeria are all youth. So, security issue is centered majorly around youth. So yes, the youth should be involved in managing security.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, now you said the youth should be involved, and I believe you're an advocate for youth. Not I believe you are an advocate for Nigerian youths. So, what should be our role if we're involved in tackling the insecurity issue in Nigeria? What should be the role of Nigerian youths?
Basically, we are in the they call it the jet age, where basically everything we do is on the internet. And if we have to look closely, the youths are bulk of the youth are all on social media. So yes, the youth has a very major role to play, whereby in sense of communications, because most of the issues that happens in terms of armed robbery, rape, and all of that, there's always an intel, there's always an information somewhere, guided information that when the authority gets it early, they are able to um, work smartly and being able to solve the issues before it become a major issue. So yes, that's one of the major role that youth can play. Communication. So communication between the government and people at large generally. So there's a communication gap, and that's why there's so much insecurity.
Okay, you said there's a communication gap. Don't you think we're communicating enough? Like, many persons are saying on social media that the government is not doing anything, despite we're trying to pass this information to them. So, what should we now do? Should we just sit back since they're not doing anything?
First of all, if you see recently, there've been a lot of avocation, or a lot of people have been advocating that there should be community policing, like a neighborhood watch. You get, like a door-to-door campaign against insecurity. Now, the best people to actually secure it or our environment is the people that reside in that environment. And it's not the old people that will do this job. It's not the infants, It's not the a bulk of teenagers are part of the youth anyway. So you see, it's more of a young people issue. So what am I trying to say here is the only people when I talk about this communication gap, you see, nobody comes to no external person comes to a certain environment, come down and rob or do some few stuff. They get their intel from that same environment or from that community. Let me use the word community. So what the youth has to do or have to do is for them to come together as a unit and see how they can manage, information that come around. Some of them should be passed to the security agencies, while some of them are, when they come up as a team, they are able to look at what was happening in Lagos during, there was one period they call it 1,000 boys match, or 1,000, I think, or 1 million, I can't remember, in Lagos some couple of months ago, last year, before the NSAS protest during the lockdown. There were a lot of armed robbery, a lot of stealing. In short, before the theft, there's always a communication to the people living in that community that we are going to come XYZ day, XYZ time, prepare for us. The police were not really doing anything at all until the people from that community stood up as a unit, not the old people, the young people. They all came together and say, if we die, we die. They all came together, clustered themselves, some had machetes, some had plywoods, and they were able to manage and fix that situation. So that's the power of the youth as regards insecurity. Until they were tired, just like what we have about just like what we have now in the NSAS protest, because people were tired. They were tired. They couldn't wait for the government anymore. So that's the same thing that happened in Lagos. Some I think that was July or August. The 1 million march. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay, so if the youth should come out, then what should the government do to compensate them? Because they won't just come out and just do it. These youths are actually, some of them are not working. They will need some resources to actually put these all ideas together. So, and now we have, I don't want to say we have a government that is not working, yeah, but you understand the situation of the country. So what should they now do? They will need resources to do these stuffs. And don't forget, end SARS protest just subsided. I'll ask you a question about that later. If you feel there's going to be another wave of the NSAS protest, but that aside, the NSAS protest just subsided, and many youths are still angry. So some of them might just decide to like close their eyes to what is happening. So how do you now bring those people out? Because the government did not actually hear their cry when they were fighting, when they were protesting for change. No, so how do you want those people to now come outside and fight insecurity issue?
first of all, insecurity is everybody's issue, whether governments, whether the people that the government is governing, is a general issue. So the fact is, if we keep saying that this I don't care attitude, like it doesn't affect me, one day it's definitely going to affect you. So if I was to be the president of this nation, I would have long approved the community policing. I would have long approved the state policing. Let's take for instance, like I earlier said, if I was to be staying in a place like Port Road, in one of those streets, maybe Osadebame Street, and there are a lot of young people around this street that are unemployed. And for those people that are interested, like volunteers, and we are meant to tell the local government to pay a certain stipend to support these people in protecting themselves. And wherever information they get, it's not protecting like they are going to start putting their chest or contesting with someone that has a gun. That's not what I'm saying. They are out there, they get information. You see, it's a very big problem. Security issue is not just about the youth, including the security agencies that are supposed to do the job. So there is a dysfunctional society. That's just the challenge. If the police are not ready to do the job of policing, no matter how much information the youth equally give to them, it will not work. So it's a two-way thing. Recently in those states, before Godwin Obaseki came into power,
Mm.
the only people that helped control or manage traffic in Edo used to be this the other arm of police, the yellow fever or the traffic warders in terms of under the police arm. Um, but when Obaseki came, he decided to create another unit or an agency that manages traffic. He didn't just create that agency; he trained the people on how they can manage um, um, traffic. Now, today we have a lot of people being employed under that agency that manages traffic. So, even if we still experience um, um, a lot of traffic jam in Benin, it would have been worse if those people were not available at all. Also, they created an arm to which they call PUOP, the Public Voluntary. Um, um, I don't know the last part, but I know there's a group that that manages those persons that shades along the roadsides and hawk around buses that are parked wrongly. And today these people are doing a great job. So these same initiatives or policies that brought about the management of traffic, the management of people shading along the road, can equally bring up agencies that can help security. If I mean security now, they're all part of security, but security like security, whereby the high rate of robbery reduces automatically, high rate of kidnapping reduces. There's always, like I said earlier, there's a communication gap. If there's an agencies that look at that beyond the federal government, not just the federal government, I'm talking about state-wise, it will go a long way to manage security. And a lot of these youths that are unemployed can, through this means, get something. Just like through this means they have gotten the pool of opportunity, through this means they've gotten the ETSMA or the traffic management opportunity. Through this means too, they can equally get a security that does a certain part of whichever areas we think we are having issues with. We can equally get like an agency that can manage that. That's what I'm saying. So that's where the youth comes on
Okay.
board too.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Maybe I
can
didn't
I ask
understand
a
you.
question? Can I ask a question about something? This issue of insecurity. Most of the youths that are actually involved in this armed robbery, killings, and all. Some of the youths, let me just say most. Let me not say most. Some of the youths are actually the one involved, so they know themselves. One knows this one. This one, even if this one is not doing, but this one knows this one is doing it and stuff like that. So in a situation like this, where you have the youth that are even doing it, what do we now do? And the government is not tackling it. So what should we do?
Are ready.
You you
They are
you.
ready. Nigerian youth are ready. Nigerian youth
Uh,
are tired. They are tired of hearing of kidnapping. They are tired of all the bad things that social media have been carrying about them. Nigerian youth are fit and they are ready to fix everything you get to hear about. Now, when we were talking about much earlier that they might turn into a cult group or turn into a
one
social
million
group,
boss.
yeah,
You see
like
the
1 million.
1 million
Yeah.
boss.
So now my belief is during the NSAS protest, I knew a lot of people that wanted to join but could not
Mm.
join them. The reason why they could not join them is because they had to report at their offices, various offices, as early as 8, as early as 9 a.m. in the morning. Before it became something else, before people were no longer able to move, those people could not protest. It's either they were working for private persons or they had their private jobs or they were working for the government. Now, what am I trying to say is because these people are not fully utilized or are not properly utilized or are not engaged. Now, if you look at it, it may be a very small number of persons that had so much to do at that point in time that could not join them. But the NSAS protest went a long way to show Nigerian government or the Nigerian people that the youth are ready to be engaged. As soon as you engage them, you see them, you see a total turnaround completely. So, in form of engaging them is giving them this opportunity. Like I was talking about, I just got a message from my friend. He said there's a popular saying that if there's a thief in your house and you wish to secure your money, you give your money to the thief. And he says, see, this is now 1,000 naira. Hold on. You see, there's no way he can steal that money anymore because he's not in charge. He's not protecting that money. You get. So if we should in turn see how we can bring this into practice, you know, we'll see a total turnaround completely. That is my belief, and I know is not just it's something that we can practice, and I know it's something that would give a lot of good results at the end of the day.
Don't get me wrong, there are really good youths out there in Nigeria. You understand? When I'm saying the youth, okay, I'm not trying to generalize it because there are good youth. During the NSAS protest, we saw what the
Yeah,
youth did. Yeah. So yeah, kudos to all of them that fought for the NSAS protest and everything. But the crime rate, let's narrow it down to Edo State. Okay. Edo State right now, one of the major
okay,
problems that the state is facing is this issue of the youth ganging up and this courtesan, the courtesan going on in Edo State. So if we have to address insecurity in Edo State, do you think the youth will be the most, let's say, favorable group to police the state right now with the crime rate among the youths in Edo State? You understand? So if we had this high number of youths engaging in courtesan, do you think bringing these youths together to come and regulate crime in Edo State would work for the state? It's a big question. I'm not saying that all
yeah,
adult youths are involving in cultism. Don't get me wrong. You understand? I'm not saying that all of them are engaged. We have many good youths. I have family members, many people in Edo State that I know, youths. So, but do you think the youths would be the right group to police and regulate crime in Edo State right now? Go ahead.
if a system must move forward, we must look at
Mm,
the youth. The youth is everything in a system. The youth is everything completely. That's the same thing I'm talking about. The people that are involved in, I've seen people that tell you they are ex-court members. They no longer have
mm,
time to take part in their various meetings, activities, and all of that
mm,
because they are engaged. Look at Onome now. Onome is here. If she was to be a member of a group, right now she's engaged. She can't go. For the next 2 3 hours, she's engaged. So if they know everybody wants to be involved in things that profit them, and they said there used to be a popular saying that says the devil's the I've forgotten something devil's workshop,
Okay, and I
mm.
don't mind is the
devil's
devil's
workshop,
workshop.
and yeah, thank God, thank you. And idol's mind is the devil's workshop. So if these people are engaged, automatically they're not the devil's workshop anymore because they'll be busy. That's what I'm saying. So if they are busy to a very large extent, we'll be able to manage all of these challenges that we are looking at. All of them. Courtesan, kidnapping, armed robbery, list name them. Name them. And the another major issue is education. Education is not about going to the university, getting degrees upon degrees. No, education. Then to run all of these challenges up is the foundational issue. Most of the insecurity
I was
issues we
about
have,
coming to that education stuff, creating awareness. The foundation is actually the issue.
yeah. So it's a foundational issue. If we are able to, if our parents go back in the proper way of parenting, we will not have most of these challenges we have today will be fixed. If a child is properly managed while growing up with the best advice, looking at the kind of friends he keeps or she
Mm,
keeps, looking at
mm,
how she goes around her businesses or his businesses, we would fix all of these challenges. When I was growing up, when I put on a shirt that is not mine, maybe I went with some friends, play football, maybe I come home with a different shoe or different socks. My mom's going to ask me, where did you get from? That's what she's going to ask. Even when I was in 100 level at the University of Benin, when I come back home, my mom is going to ask me, this is your shirt. When did you buy this shirt? Because she basically knows everything I have. She's going to ask, where did you get it from? And I'll start explaining. I got it so day or so day. Yeah, she's going to ask. And basically, automatically, if I know my mom is that kind of an inquisitive mom, I probably would drop those things in school. I probably will never come home with it because I don't want to answer so many questions. So you see what I'm trying to say? It's a foundational issue. Why some people go back home, they go to school with just maybe 100,000 naira. They come back home with a Benz and their mom celebrates them or their father celebrates them. So at the end of the day, you start asking why is hand robbery high? Why is kidnapping high? Why is this high? You see, it's a foundational issue. Where your parents no longer ask you, how did you get this money? How did you raise this? How did you buy this? You know, to a very large extent, when we're growing up, we could say, oh, this one a civil servant. The kind of house a man builds tells you the kind of job he does. The kind of cars he drives, tells you the kind of job he does. When someone is living above his means, then there is eyebrows that are being raised to say, what did this person do? Those days, it no longer happens. So insecurity is equally not just the government issue, is a foundational problem. Until these problems are being fixed from the foundational level, before we start blaming the government, then I think we're not going anywhere.
Awesome. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this is so great. I like this part you
yeah, I
brought
like,
into
yes,
it. So
yes. It's so
are you saying
interesting. Yeah. I'm proud of
yes?
you. For
We
you to
should
say
really
that, I'm so
focus.
proud of you. I'm proud of you, my brother.
It's
That
so
is so
nice.
wonderful. Yes.
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much.
proud of
Thank you
you.
so much.
It's good to hear that from you. You understand? I'm proud of you, Daniel Wadia. I'm so proud of
Thank
you.
you
That
so
is
much.
why you are where you are
Thank you
today.
so much.
I'm proud of you. And thanks to your
Thank you
family
so
for
much.
raising you so well.
Thank you so
And
much.
go ahead.
Thank you so much.
All right. I'm so happy you brought this particular point. But now we already, like, there's a saying that says when the fish is not dry, that's when you can fold or bend it. Once it's dried, when you bend it, it scatters. So now there is no way we can start bringing up our youths again. They're already grown. It's not possible. So what can we now do? That is it. Now, what would now be the solution? But we already have a solution for those coming up. The children that are coming up now, the ones that are yet to be born, we already have a solution for them. We already have creating this awareness that, hey, this thing is starting from the foundation. The parents, you just have to tackle this thing as they are growing up. That's for the children. Now, the youth, we're already big, we're already grown. So if they should try it now, forget it. It will go to the back of our ears. That's just the basic truth. So what should we now do? What is the way forward? Now we already have those that lack proper foundation.
It's for me. I think it's easy. Is to have to understand, and the most easiest form is mentorship. Mentors are people around you, your friends, particularly your friends. Your friends play a vital role in your life. So, irrespective of how big you are, if you have not been able to identify what the challenge is, your parents, your friends, your family, loved ones, people have been able to say, see, this is your issue. And if you are able to make those adjustments, you have been able to fix at least a good percentage of that issue. Now, I'm back now, anyways.
Okay, yeah. I can see you and I can also hear you.
Thank you.
All right. So we can start from where we stopped. You were talking about mentorship. We're talking
Mentorship,
about
yeah. I was talking about
mentorship.
mentorship. So, what the youth generally lack is mentorship, and it's part of what they lack. Your mentors are the people around you. You get to learn from your environment, your immediate environment. So if they are able to make the right set of people, it will go a long way in managing the social vices that we're trying to fix generally. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, yeah. Someone said from the comment section. He said he feels the youth needs to be educated before handling anything like security position or whatever to them, so as not to abuse power. And someone also said he or she feels the youths are
People to
not
follow up.
ready to actually take up the work of a security issue in Nigeria. So now somebody is saying he feels they are not ready. What what do you have to say about that?
Um, that is our perspective. Um, you can't say the youths are not ready. I'm sure if he stays in Edo or he stays in any part of Nigeria, I'm sure sometimes he gets scared going out at night, gets scared, for one reason or the other. And I'm
Yeah.
sure this person writing this is equally a youth. And I'm sure that he
Definitely.
wished that if he had a gun, if he had arm, if he had access to security moving around him, I'm sure he would feel better. You get what I'm saying? So, and everybody cannot have this access. So, saying that the youths are not ready, or maybe if I get that clear, are not ready to take offices to manage security. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah. That's I think that's what the person is
Then
saying.
then then
And we
it's
should
it's
also
totally
educate
wrong.
them before handling such positions to them.
Yeah, definitely, it's an orientation program. It's a process. What we need in a situation as that is follow up.
Okay.
What we need in
Follow up.
situations like that is a follow up. Yeah, just like auditing. There are auditing firms that go around, they invite them, maybe headquarters call them and say, come, go and audit a branch in Lagos, a branch in Kaduna. You get, so they should be follow up. Those are follow up processes, and they should be follow up.
Okay. I'm with you. You can go on.
Yeah, basically that's it. They should be follow up. The youth are ready to have a better country, Nigeria. The youth are ready for our country to move forward. The youth are ready to want to feel safe. You know, everybody wants to feel safe, and
Yeah.
we're willing and ready to do anything that will help us feel safe.
All right. Talking about restructuring of the country, some persons are like, uh, all we've been saying is just let there be a military regime, a military takeover. That's the only solution to restructuring the country and and stuff like that. So what do you think? What do you think? What do you think should be it? You think a
The
military
first is
regime taking over?
the first restructuring we need in Nigeria is ourselves. Is we here as a people. We need a fresh mind. That's the first restructuring. I will go with this example. So a couple of months
All right.
ago, there was before the during the COVID-19 era, there was reduction in fuel price, in pump price, and when that reduction came on, I could tell you that a lot of um, filling stations refused to reduce the price. They said that there was a set
Okay.
date when they are supposed to reduce the price, and they kept the old price up. Okay, now
Okay.
it was very difficult for them to sell at that price. They'll tell you this is an old product. When we are done, we'll sell at the new price. Whereas, if there was to be an increase, recently there was an increase, and ahead of that increase around 2 p.m. At the time I was going to the filling station by 4 p.m., that price was already updated, and they started selling with that price. Do you not see that when we talk about, oh, reform Nigeria, restructure Nigeria, who are the Nigeria people? It's we. We are the people.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So if we could not reduce the pump price when it was reduced, then we can automatically increase when we heard there was an increase. It still means that we are the ones doing ourselves.
Exactly, exactly. It's
Now,
not just in fuel
the,
price. It's in everything, especially foodstuffs. It's in
yeah.
foodstuffs too.
Now,
Yeah.
during the NSAS protest, you see youths barricading roads, the major roads. And for people that wishes to pass those roads, they have to pay 1,000 naira. 1,000. Now, the police that we are fighting against most of the time do not collect even up to 1,000 naira. During the NSAS protests, when we no longer had police in our streets, the high level of rape increased. The high level of theft increased. High level of various crimes equally increased. Now, who is the problem? Is it the government or is it the people? In a nutshell, I want to say that what the people needs, besides restructuring the country, is we first of all have to restructure ourselves. We first of all have to reorientate ourselves. We have to forget what we think we know and learn what should be what what should be applicable. So it's beyond the government. It's not the government that caused that one. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the youth.
Yeah.
It's the youth. Yes, it's the youth. So um
The same youth we're
my
talking
my
about.
yeah, the same youth. So generally, I just think our issue is it's not about restructuring Nigeria. The country president is bad, blah blah blah. No, even we, in a little way, we cheat, we are corrupt, we steal from each other, we hurt each other. Until we are able to look at this critically, that is the only way we can go forward. It's not about military coming to take over, and a lot of us love being forced. A lot of us love being beaten. So many years ago, we visited the city of Calabar and we were told that, in short, we didn't even have, we didn't even have to be told. The streets were clean. Let me use speaking here. You know that some kind of environment where you go reach to throw away dirty for ground, go they fear you. When
You
the
go even the
environment is,
fear. You
you
carry your
go the
dirty put
fear.
inside bag.
Thank you, you go dey fear because you go say, this kind place where one dirty no dey for ground at all. How na me wan come start to dey put am? Then for people wey dey piss indiscriminately, they no fit just carry say they wan piss for one wall or for one bush. E go hard because the whole place
That's
dey
true.
neat, the whole place dey serene. Now then for Calabar, when you drop anything, they are going to call you. The people in that environment are going to call you and say, come and pick that up. Do you see? So it's not government, it's the people. It's a choice. It's a choice. Here in Edo, when it rains, you see traders, you see people carrying their debts, turning it in the drainage. Then tomorrow you hear there's a gully, there's an erosion somewhere. People are falling in it. People are dying. Houses are moving. XYZ, as the case may be. Now, is that equally? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's we. It's our orientation.
Yeah.
Until we are able to fix our orientation, until we are able to manage all of these little things, then we can start facing the government. So it's we first.
Exactly. It boils down to what you said earlier. Is our rotation. It's the foundation actually. The way we were brought up. We're brought up with a mindset that is working now. So that's just the basic truth, and that's the issue right here. If we can tackle the foundation, everything will go well. But since it's already big, and the foundation cannot be rebuilt. That's why we have mentorship, like you said, which is a very key note in this aspect. All right, before we end the show, I would like to ask one more question regarding the end SARS protest organized by our able Nigerian youth. So, do you think there's going to be another wave looking at the situation and everything? And aside this protest, what other way do you think the youth can, what other medium do you think they can use to voice what they have inside? Because the protest actually led lots of things. That's how we got these hoodlums who were looting palliatives and all that. Then the insecurity issue really increased. So, what other medium do you think the youths can use? We've been using social media. We've been talking. What do you think? You're an advocate for youth. So, what do you say about that?
Um, Job opportunities. Okay, first of all, um, I think the youths are already. It's just that we don't have. The NSAS protest was beautiful. It was not properly guided. You know, there is
Okay.
nothing in this world that you
So,
don't have leaders. Even termites have leaders. Termites, ants, they have leaders. They have leaders. So if you say you want to do anything without having a leader, it doesn't work. The answers issues were not properly managed. That's why it went the way it went. Okay.
it
Uh
wasn't properly managed. You're talking about
the second way,
management now. Not that sometimes we don't have this idea or something, but we need somebody to manage, to lead.
okay, the second wave, the yes, the protest can come again. It can. There's a chance of that. Uh, the way we go about our business, I know some persons were peaceful. I know some weren't. I don't know why. I've seen protests abroad. I saw protests in Norway or Switzerland, Sweden. Some last 2 years there was a protest. I don't know what led to that protest, but I saw a lot of people. They just come, go to the mission site, like where the major challenge is. Like, let me use for instance, they go to Oredo local government. If that's where the challenge is, they all sit on the ground. They all sit on the ground. That's the protest. They were they were not playing football on the road. They were not tearing down flags. They were not breaking down vehicles. They didn't stop other people from going to work. They didn't insist or pressure other people to join them on that protest. It was a total peaceful protest. And at the end of the day, they were able to get what they want. This has been applicable in UK, in Canada, so many parts of the world. We don't always have to break down law and order in order to communicate uh, our dismay or our dismay. You get so that's my belief. My belief is we can have a logical approach to protest. Then going forward, youth needs to be more involved in politics and policy making. The government may
Sorry, can
not
you come again?
uh, going forward. Youth has to be more involved in politics
Okay,
and
okay.
in policy making,
I think
so
that's
as to
part
ha-
of the
so
agenda
as so as
brought
to
out by the NSAS protesters. This being involved in policy making, but so far it didn't yield any result.
because they have not been in is a process. If they are involved in these inclusions, they can be able to bring forth their idea or how they think things should be done or how they think things should be run. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of these are processes. It's not something you just wake up one day and you jump into. If you're involved in politics, you're involved in policy making, it will be very, very difficult that some of the queries you bring up will be overlooked. Very, 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 very. There are chances, very high chances that they will be implemented.
Okay, so can you tell us what are these processes? Which process do we pass through to be able to get that, to achieve that, to be involved, to be more involved in this? What are the processes? Some of these youths don't know. They just feel, oh, let's go out there and do this thing. That's why we have shows like
Process to
this.
be
What are the
involved.
processes?
Yeah, process to be involved. I'm very happy. I will use those states that we are currently. The process involved. Now, the governor of Edo State recently said he's going to have 60% of his cabinet as youth.
Yes.
And 60% of his cabinets are youth, and they're able to bridge the gap, the communication gap within governments and the citizens, whereby town hall meetings are being organized. Through town hall meetings, we are able to identify challenges of a certain area in a certain local government, and solutions are being brought forth during the town hall meetings. I'm not saying that these policies are automatically absorbed and implemented, no. But these platforms, when given, helps us identify these challenges, how to implement, those that can be implemented, stages of implementations. Then with this, we can start looking at those things that are workable and those that are not workable. It simply means that we on our own, when I was a student in University of Benin, myself and my brother will write proposals and send it to ministries. It will shock you to know that one of our proposals fell through. It's not that the government came to give us the contract to go and carry it out. No, they didn't. But they were able to implement that our idea. I don't know if it's our idea or it's someone else's idea, but it was something we wrote, and 8 months later, we saw the implementation of what we wrote, exactly the way we wrote it.
So you are
Those are
saying
policies, right?
the youth needs to push to
Yes, they need to.
start and do something.
I was not even in government then. So we don't really need to be in government to cause this change. You don't really have to be in government to make all of these um, um, push through these ideas or policies. If you think this is how we should, okay. At the last Alara program, Summit Youth Summit, I happened to be one of the speakers, and in that program, before I left stage that morning, I made a suggestion to His Excellency, saying that they should he should create a platform whereby youth can volunteer to learn how government is being run, whether at the legislative
Mm-hmm.
angle or at the judicial or at the executive. Do you understand? So we now call on youth. You don't necessarily have to pay them, volunteer. Come and see how policies are being made. Come and see how legislative proceedings are being carried out. Come and see how implementation process takes place. Come and see how long, it takes to get A to Z. Do you understand? So these were some of the
Yes.
suggestions I made to the governor. And in my last meeting with the speaker some couple of weeks ago, the speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, I found that he has even drawn out he already has a framework of how he wish the legislative um, internship is an internship that it's an internship program where youth volunteers get attached to one of the honorable members, and at the end of the day learn how the bees are being prepared, how the readings are being carried out. With this, you see, in the next couple of years, when people are coming out as long parliamentarians, you find out that you have a new crop of people that have learned a better ways of doing things. Then in doing that too, we equally would encourage exchange programs. whereby even our own legislators can get exchange with legislators in Lagos State, or in, see how things are being done in Lagos. Go there, equally learn. Go to UK, learn. Go to Canada, learn. You see, at the end of the day, we have a better country. So at the end of the day, coming back to how policies are being made, you got to find out that if such program which I recommended to His Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, is being implemented, you find out to a very large extent, the process it takes things to get done in this country or in this state will change automatically. So thank you very much. Hello, Onome, can you hear me?
Wow, that's a brilliant one. That's a brilliant one. Really, really, really. So, this information you're passing, this awareness you're creating, how do we get it to the youths in the rural area? How do, how do we get it to the youths in the rural area? Many of them, they don't get this information. How do we disseminate it? I can hear you. Can you
Back
hear
to
me?
back to what I said much earlier.
Hello,
I made mention
hello,
of. Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
hello. Can you hear me?
Hmm? Okay. Like I said earlier, much earlier, I I said something about town hall meetings. Town hall meetings are not just going to be organized in the urban area, even in
Yeah,
the
I can
rural
hear you
area,
now.
even in the rural areas. So therefore, what I'm trying to say here is, if town hall meetings are being organized in the rural areas, then just then can what the government intend to do come, because the government do not work for themselves. The government work for the people. So therefore, it's the communication of the people, it's the challenges of the people that the people has or have, that they will communicate to the government and say, this is what we are facing here. We don't have light. We don't have schools. We don't have water. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't have we don't have scholarship. We need scholarship. We need this. We need that. Through the assistance of, including the local
Yeah.
government chairman, the councillors. So you see, this is a bunch head of stakeholders coming together to discuss a way forward. So if such meetings are being held, there is no way people in the rural area will not be able to voice or take part in all of these things I've said about, because before implementation, you have to have this town hall meeting where you discuss. It's just like a general assembly, where you call a lot of people, you ask them what the challenge is, you tell them what you have and how you intend to go about what you have. At the end of the day, you start implementing. So that's the only way we can get to these people. Town hall meetings. Because a lot of them are not even on social media. A lot of them do not even have, some don't even have phones. They don't even have phones. Some network don't even reach where they be. So the easiest is calling for a town hall meeting where this
Exactly.
can be discussed. Yeah, basically that's it.
All right. It's been so wonderful. Like it's been wonderful with you, Honorable Daniel Wade. I'm really
Thank you so much.
happy to have you on Nebo TV today. So we're gonna end the show now, and so far what we've discussed about the role of youth in insecurity. Community is the foundation, building a better foundation, not just with us, not with us now that are youth already, but those coming up. And for us, the solution here you mentioned mentorship, and Mrs. Nekma Obaseki mentioned copper, policing, and which is a very wonderful one, a very wonderful one. And restructuring the country, we need to start afresh. We need to refresh our minds, reset our minds, which is a wonderful one. And so we will be ending the show now. Thank you so much, Honorable Daniel Wadia, once again. I
Thank
really,
you
really
so much.
appreciate.
Thank you so
We hope
much.
to have you many more times on Apple TV, like regularly. We need to be discussing more about these youths in our society. The youth needs to wake up.
Yeah,
We need to wake up. We need
yeah.
to do something. We need to be involved. And with what you are saying, it's actually not difficult to be involved, unlike the way we see it. When you look at this,
No, it's
I
not.
want to go meet that governor or that senator, come they tell and say you get this idea or stuff. But what you've explained, it seems very easy. And really, if we check it practically, it's quite easy. It's just for us to take the step, for us to push as youths. That's the number one. That's the number one thing. So thank you so much. You can log off now. We really appreciate your presence on Apple TV.
Thank you
I
so
will
much.
definitely see you next time. All right,
All
bye.
right. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye. Yeah.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much. You can still drop your questions on the comment section below. We're going to answer everything, and we're still going to come back here again with Honorable Daniel Wadia with more topics on youth development in Nigeria. My name is Agbaje Onome. Please follow us on our Facebook page at Nebo Telly, and also subscribe to Nebo TV channel if you are yet to do so. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at Agbaje Onome. Just click Agbaje Onome and you see me there. Follow me up on Instagram and on Facebook. All right, see you next time on Evo TV. I'm so happy to have you here once again, and I'm going to come back next time with more news.